Hello, my name is Elle, and this is my game. I will not be spoiling any story details, but I will be spoiling mechanics and showing off how I did them. Hopefully, this gives you ideas and get excited for my game. This is the first game that I've really coded before. Um, I find that whenever I get a coder, they always stop halfway through, or they take a break, come back, or they they only work on it sometimes, and then they have to do their own project, and then they kind of lose interest. So it just makes things a lot simpler if I code it. I am getting help, however, from a fellow coder, which is very helpful because I have never coded anything before. To clarify, I have worked on other projects, but none of them have been completed because people just kind of quit. And that's a hard thing in game dev is getting people motivated. So without further ado, here is what I've done so far. Take note that not all of this was done completely by me. I did have some help here and there. The first thing I did was make a material. This is a specific type of material. It's called triplanar texturing. Um, Basically, what it means is I don't need texture coordinates for any of my objects. I just slap it on the material and it works, which is really helpful for saving time and computer resources. Um, if you can render, I mean, Unreal Engine can handle many materials at once, but it makes it run even faster if you have one material with tons of parameters. Another thing I did was start characters. Now, the way I make characters is not efficient. It is a lot of it's bad with anatomy. Um, I think I could definitely make it more realistic, but for a stylized game, it will suffice. So what I did for my process was I started by painting a concept art. I painted a 2D version of the characters' faces. Um, and this, I basically 3D modeled the faces. For those of you that don't know, you can basically trace things in 3D modeling. It needs proper topology, so it needs clean geometry, but you can technically trace over objects or trace over paintings. So that's basically the process I went with. So the next thing I had to do for the characters was animate them. Animating them was tough. I'm not a good animator, and I don't claim to be. There's a lot. There's people that are a lot better than me. And so I eventually just decided, why am I doing this? Just buy some, because what someone else can do, what a dedicated animator can do, is so much better than what I can do when I just do animation on the side. Um, so I might as well just take animations from somebody who is professional in the field. And I got some really good assets. They're all mocapped, so you get very high quality animations. So one of the first things that I did when my coder left was a health bar system. Uh, Funny, it's actually really simple to do, but it took me forever because I had no fucking clue what I was doing. But I ended up getting it done, and I'm very good with shaders. So I used a shader to basically make a gradient for the health bar, and you just get the floor, and set a that will basically move. You can add and subtract to the health bar, and it will go up and down like a health bar should. Funny thing, I was really proud of that, even though it was super simple. I remember bragging to everybody that I got a health bar working. But I'm a fucking idiot. Um, but you know, uh, learning code is a lot more intimidating than it is difficult. Um, It seems intimidating at first, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's not really a big deal. Uh, and I ended up from there coding a lot more stuff. So as I kept coding more and more, I eventually got to the more complicated systems. And one thing I want to talk about is the laser system I did. Very fucking cool because it took me fucking forever, but I got it. I got it and it works. Um, it is basically uh, you have one object that casts a laser, and this object the laser can bounce off a mirror. Now, a mirror can be tinted colors. So, let's say a white ray of light hits a red mirror. Well, now it turns red. Um, and you then, let's say that laser hits a blue mirror. Well, the ray is now purple. And it's a really cool system, and I plan on using it for puzzles. I do intend to have puzzles in the game. I'm not going to try to really make it too fancy, but I think some puzzles would be fun. And in light of the new Half-Life game, I got excited and said, "Hey, let's make a gravity gun." I didn't make a gravity gun per se. I made a gravity sword. Thank you very much. Fucking idiot. Uh, but yeah, so the physics sword is what I call it because, I want to make it my own thing. Because, I'm definitely not copying. Um, yeah, so the physics sword can pick objects, you can throw them, you can drop them in place. It's really cool to play around with, and I imagine it's going to be causing tons of problems when playtesting, but I think adding it will make for a much more entertaining experience. Regarding story, I've done very little in the sense of story. I have the opening that's not completely done yet, but I have some progress on that. But I overall not too much. Um, but I have what I have gotten out of the way is all of those systems that are needed to really make the game run. We have a good animation system now. Um, things are pretty well set up, and I think I'm about ready to start getting really into uh, the story side of it and really fleshing that out. I won't spoil anything story wise, but regarding the themes of the story, if you're not comfortable, then tune out now. Um, but regarding the themes of the story, it's a lot about getting over your past traumas and moving on with your life. Uh, it's a very, I hope to be a very heartwarming story. And one thing I want it to be is something uplifting. You know, while I do think in media, sad stories have their place, I think happy ones do too. And, I've struggled with mental health a lot, and it's something I really want to make. I want to make a game that makes people smile and a game that really, really puts out a good message. So, that's it for now. Tune in next time, and I will be showing off more of what I've done when the time comes. And I hope you enjoy. If you're interested in seeing more, subscribe and hit the little bell. But if you're not, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. Uh,